Every so often, there are works of art created that hold the capacity to change our understanding of the creative process forever. Faces, Places by Agnes Varda and JR is one of those works, and if you have any interest at all in creating or storytelling, you must watch it. Which might be a bit surprising, because on the surface level, Faces, Places kind of feels like a glorified road trip film. Pretty much the entire film is spent watching the two creators travel the French countryside, taking photos of people they meet and turning their portraits into life-size murals. But with their experience and outlook on life comes this perspective that's just a delight to watch, and some really deep thought and reflection unravels in front of us like this joyful Pandora's box. It's a movie you'll finish feeling like you just looked at the world through newly tinted glasses for an hour and a half, with a view on life that's optimistic and refreshing, something that's really valuable for our current time. Faces, Places is a film that's worth seeing, if for no other reason, because it is an absolute privilege to watch these two artists working together. If you don't already know who Agnes Varda is, one, you should. Two, she is the film director who pioneered the French New Wave and changed art cinema, if not cinema itself, forever. She also unfortunately passed in the spring of this year, and Faces, Places is kind of a dedication to her life and her passions that she carried throughout her entire career. Many of her films, especially her later documentaries, feature ordinary people as extraordinary heroes. Faces, Places celebrates nostalgia, memory, and beauty in the everyday life in a way that really encapsulates what she valued as an artist and a human being. It's a wonderful tribute to her life and career. Her companion and co-director throughout the film, JR, is a younger and talented photographer and mural artist. In many ways, he's Varda's opposite. While she's very quick to reminisce about the past and her own history, to the point of asking JR to paint a mural about a long-deceased friend of hers, he's closed off to the point of never showing his face. The closest we get to ever learning about him as an individual is meeting his 100-year-old grandmother, who laughs at the notion that he would even take off his shades in front of her. But despite their differences, they bounce off each other and create with each other seamlessly. It's a physical manifestation that anyone, from anywhere, can create beautiful art, and it's worth watching for just their interactions alone. But there's so much more to this film than that. Faces, Places is about a lot of different things. Nostalgia for an older France, celebrating ordinary people and blue-collar workers, the universal human effort to hold on to memory, a commentary on the modern and generation's past. It's a road film. It explores small families and factory workers, farmers in isolation. It goes on a tirade about the ethics of goat farming and their horns for a few minutes. It is also a film about itself. As we follow JR and Varda through the winding roads of the French countryside, and they meet people, learn more about them, and recreate their images on mass scale, we're constantly being reminded that all of this is being constructed. Faces, Places is reflexive in its nature. It doesn't try to hide the filmmaking process or the story being altered and fabricated as it unravels before us. The two artists spend a lot of time sitting and reminiscing about their adventures, the artistic process, the people they meet and their effect on them, and the film they're making itself.
Le truc rigolo, c'est qu'on va faire un film ensemble.
Bah ouais, c'est ça le point de départ. Mais dis-moi, tu travailles jamais en duo, toi?
Ah, la première fois va devant.
We watch them bicker and disagree, and sometimes it's very clearly scripted for us, and other times we're not so sure, but at the end of the day, they always come back to create together. And with each new mural, they gain a new perspective about the world around them and share it with us. It can be easy to forget that filmmaking, or really any form of storytelling or creating, is about human connection, especially when you're trying to make a living out of that craft. Concerns about income, traction on social media, keeping up a certain brand or image, these can all overtake the core of what makes art matter: people. JR and Varda remind us through their childlike wonder that making art is fun, and that being allowed to enter other people's lives, whether it's to adapt and retell their own story or share a little bit of yours, is a privilege. Faces, Places is a movie that's baked in nostalgia for a simpler time, for a childlike joy of creating for the sake of the thing itself. But the filmmakers don't balk at modern technology or the mindsets of younger generations either. Agnes Varda happily turns her camera around for a selfie now and then, and seems to have no problem with the sometimes self-indulgent aspects of creation that are so often associated with younger generations today. Instead, she encourages it, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise if you've seen some of her other work. She seems to take great joy in using filmmaking as a tool not only to learn more about others, but to better understand herself as well. Even after writing out this whole script, it feels really difficult for me to put into words exactly what it is about Faces, Places that makes it feel so refreshing and so important at this specific time. The filmmaker's joy is intoxicating. Agnes Varda seems not only youthful, but childlike in her ability to find wonder and beauty in every little thing around her. And JR too never seems to lose his energy to create, and everything they do is with a tenderness and care for the people they affect. It's a movie I walked out of feeling curious, in a way I don't think I have in a really long time. And I implore you, if you're feeling tired, or like you're losing your passion, or you're forgetting why it is you do what you do, watch this movie. Learn why you create again.
Le but, c'est le pouvoir de l'imagination.
D'accord.
C'est-à-dire qu'on se donne le droit, JR et moi, d'imaginer des choses et de demander aux gens, est-ce qu'on peut faire notre imagination chez vous? Donc il y a en même temps un désir de partager avec vous le photo de couple, et puis de faire nos petites idées, nos petites folies, ce qui nous fait plaisir, en espérant que ça fait plaisir aux autres.